Welcome, traveler. We are here for another episode of the solo D&D campaign starring Samantha and Black Shuck. Does he get a starring role? He probably gets a starring role. Some very, very brief changes before we go on. We have a replacement for two characters that have already been seen. We are replacing the generic character of Bartrob's model for Crop with this model now. I figured that he would always have a shield on him now that he survived his encounter with Black Shuck. And replacing Seneca's model is this character to actually show Seneca, make him more of a dog worker slash just generic commoner for the city. Before we begin the actual game for today, I do have one question that I need to ask, and that is going to revolve around the fact that the dock master, the harbor master, was taken in the second episode, or at the end of the first episode, and more of it was revealed in the second episode. We need to find out if he was actually implanted already with the worm, because that's going to give us a harder timeline to follow through on. The book that I read stated that we have 7 days after the Mind Flayer larva is inserted into a person's ear before the transmorph into the actual Mind Flayer is fully completed. However, if you can get to them within the first hour of the implantation, you can stop it completely. So we need to know if he's already been impregnated. According to the timeline of what we've done, it's potentially only been maybe 2 or 3 hours since he went missing. So I just want to know, has he been implanted already? We're going to make that a neutral question for the Oracle to my right, technically left. Here comes the roll. 5. Yes, he's already been implanted with the larva. It's very likely too late for us to save him. We can clarify that quickly. Was he implanted the moment he was taken? No. So potentially we have a little less than an hour to save him. We probably aren't going to save him, but we do need to know that. We'll probably start a countdown within one more game hour for a 7-day timer before he becomes a full Mind Flayer. But with that being said, with those details sorted out, let's go ahead and actually get started with the story as it comes from where we left off last time after a brief drink of water. 2 sets of boots. Click on the cold stone floor. It's brick. They're heading around the back of the guard station. It's cold tonight. The building to the left, mostly thatch, wattle. She's surprised it hasn't been updated. The stupid stuff you think of when you're scared. The front office that was attacked is perhaps 2 or 3 buildings down from them. And the 2 that walk, one is a guard that lives here. She's no longer donning the chainmail that she wore at the start of the day. Instead, she's wearing sweat-drenched gambeson. Her blonde hair, loose, clings to her body. Clings to her head, not her body. And she walks, sword in hand, the other gripping Samantha, forcing her to walk ahead. There is very, very little light here. The only bit of light that comes is from the small lantern that Samantha holds in her right hand. She has no pretensions to being the song-bringer that she claimed to be when she showed up. Now she's simply Samantha the Bard. No, this has nothing to do with singing songs or telling stories. She's just Samantha. The back of her head throbs, and though she's being ushered, awkwardly she's using her left hand to push in at the wound that she's now feeling a bit more. The stab wound that summoned Black Shuck. And she's amazed to be alive. The lantern guides them forward. They turn a corner to a back shed where a single guard leans against the wall. His arms are crossed, and he's silently dozing. The crickets in the background, perhaps a nice little ambience that lulled and rocked him to sleep. How he missed the shrieks from earlier. Surprise them, not him. And Brianna steps forward. She lets go of Sam. Hey! And claps her hands. It wakes the guard up with a start. Trouble? You're not supposed to be back here. Why the hell are you waking me? In fact, shouldn't you be out watching the docks? Shove it, we need to get access. Brianna, still not holding Sam, approaches the shed. We're not supposed to let any... Why am I telling you? You fucking know this. It's an emergency. He doesn't feel like arguing. He doesn't feel like doing a damn thing, in fact. So he stands up off the wall, moves over to the small booth in front of the shed, and grabs a small piece of parchment, sets it on the table, turns up the oil on a lantern, flick of a punk brings another small orange flame to life. Quill and ink from beneath it, and sets it beside the parchment. He scratches at his hair, turns dreary eyes towards Brianna and the strawberry-haired woman behind her. Where are we sending them? We don't have time for this, Samantha says. Excuse me, who are you? Brianna looks towards her, the disheveled woman a mess, and then back to her guard companion. That is Arbiter Songbringer. The Arbiter. I was wondering if I get a look at you, and we need to get into the shed. Brianna cuts him off. Yeah, I guess I can just fill it in later. He turns towards it, pulls out a key, undoes the lock. I'm hoping only one pigeon. For now, we actually have a task for you. An official task for the Arbiter? If that's what you want to call it. She walks over and sets the rolled-up paper that Samantha had written on the table. I need you to make copies of this. Do I look like a secretary to you? Arbiter, if you would. And Samantha, still a bit flustered from her encounter with the demonic hound. Huh? Arbiter Songbringer. Can Samantha bring herself together? We are going to look towards a... We'll make it a charisma save. She has a +5. We'll make this a... We'll make this a 16. Here comes the roll. No, she can't pull herself together. She's still a little flustered. We need copies. And, we need copies. Forgive her. Daniel, we just survived an attack. An attack? Who'd be stupid enough to attack? It was Black Shuck. You're alive? Yeah, but I don't know how long we... I need you to copy this. Copy it as many times as you can on many parchment pieces that you have, and send it out to every Arbiter base in the surrounding area. You know, you're not going to get a reply for some time, at least a week? Yes, but they need to go out. Shit, I mean, look how long it took for her to get here, Daniel. You need to do this. I'm not arguing. Shit. I'm guessing you want me to send them all out? I just told you to. Don't embarrass me in front of the Arbiter. Saying that, he stands upright, more straight, salutes Samantha in the back, his hand jumping up to the silverish helmet at his head. It knocks it. You can see that as it jolts, it's too big for his head. Right. Sorry for questioning you. I'll get these written out and sent. And Samantha glances behind her. I appreciate it, Mr. Daniel. No need for the mister. It is absolutely my honor to assist the Arbiters. And Samantha nods. Perhaps a moth is guided nearby. She spots the movement out of the corner of her eye, and she snaps to it to see the little fluttering insect. Perhaps her movement scares it. Skitters off into the night. Crunching sound to her left. Perhaps a pebble is kicked, and Samantha looks to see that Brianna approaches. You should get back. Yeah, And she looks up to the cold, full moon. I'd like to get out of the cold. Not even cold, Brianna says. You have a jacket. And the two of them return to the office. As expected, it is surrounded by guards. Seems that Seneca was able to pull himself together to perform the duty he was asked to. He stands inside, waiting by the heavy shelf. Arbiter? Brianna? And Brianna stops in front of the guard to her left. She looks to him. He's holding a halberd. Has Captain Crop returned? No, ma'am. He's still out there. Seneca inside? Yes. Do you have anyone out looking for Crop? First question of the night. Let's see what comes up. But nothing comes up, of course. Now let's try. No, ma'am. Seneca said we were requested to gather the guard here, so we brought them all. Everyone off the street? No, ma'am. Just the ones in the barracks waiting. Okay. Send a group of 3 out, Brianna says as she enters the building. I need them to find Crop and bring him back, or at least report. Leave one of the guards with him if he refuses to come. Yes, ma'am. Arbiter. And they enter the building. It is now filled with different lanterns and candles all over the place. Seneca talks. He gestures wildly to a female guard standing with him. And then he just came like right out of the wall, right out, and just snap, like, and the woman, right. Does anybody want to switch duty with me? I haven't got to the best part yet. Oh, there they are, right there. This is Arbiter Songbringer, and, well, you know, Brianna, I bet you she'll make captain after this. Why are you know what? No, Brianna says. Has anybody managed to find the dagger that was left behind here? I'm going to lean that towards likely and roll it. Yes. Yeah, Seneca says. It's, I had them put it right here in the shelf that we're standing beside, just in case, anyone shows up, you know. We have all we get it, Seneca. You know, I think it's best if we send you home with a small group, some guards to protect you. Does he want to go home? My 3 dice. I'm gonna lean it towards no. Here comes the roll. Oh. He does want to go home with a but. What could the but be? Why would you be hesitant to go home? Family. Family. Got it. Like, as much as I would like that. He had a little sister. Mom's sick. And bringing home potential for demon dogs. You know, I wouldn't. I understand, Samantha says behind him. She clears her throat and then puts a little more strength into her. I understand what it's like to want to protect your little sibling. Yeah. Yeah, she gets it. Then you're gonna need to make yourself useful. What do you have in mind? Just stay out of the way. Will do! So, then it came out of the ground, he says, turning back to the female guard, who sighs, crosses her arms, and leans back against the wall. We have 2 of the knives. You still have your knife, right? Samantha nods. Yeah, I do. I know that Prop has at least one of them. He should be out there finding the other. We need to keep them safe. But I don't think waiting for backup is going to do anything. We need to make a move. I have an idea. Brianna turns around and looks at Sam. Really? What is it? And Sam brushes a bit of her vibrant hair out of her eyes. That guy, Mir, the one that ran from us. About Frerick, Brianna says. Yes. We should find him. Well, God knows where he went. And, sorry, that's supposed to be Seneca. God knows where he went after she ditched you two. That's the thing. Somebody can lead us to him. He had to have a home, right? People that cared about him, that lived with him. Was Emir homeless, is what I want to know before making the roll. No, Emir was not homeless, and he did have a place to stay. Was he staying with family? No, and he was staying in a boarding house. Nice and shady, I like that. I guess we can check Ma's boarding house. Brianna turns back, puts a hand on her chin as she contemplates. Somebody there has to see something, be willing to tell us anything. What about Crop? Samantha says. We can't just leave him out there and... Oh. What? Oh, shit. Shit. And Samantha starts pacing back and forth. What? Brianna says. I got distracted with Black Shuck, and what is it? Brianna says. She walks up and grabs Samantha's shoulders. Bishop was supposed to be investigating the shop. He hasn't come back. We haven't heard anything from him. He could be out there by himself. I need to... She's looking out the open door. I need to... Does Crop come walking up now, leaving it neutral, and hitting the camera? Here comes the roll. No, Crop does not approach. The street that she looks at, it's empty. Perhaps the lights in the houses are now on. Shutters are open. There are people who are looking. They heard the shrieks. They heard the screams. And looky-loos are coming out now that it's been silent for about 30, 40 minutes. And they're all watching the guards. If there were cars here, it'd be super bad traffic. It's always super bad traffic. He might need me, Samantha says. Does she have the strength, her own strength, to go out there and do it without anybody else? I want to make this a... There's so many ways we can handle it. So many ways that we can go through it. Let's just make this a simple... probably just a charisma save. Make it a charisma save. It's going to be +5. We'll make it a 14. No, she's a fucking coward right now. Hey. I have to. Does Brianna suggest going out there? Yes, and we'll go with her. That is our first intervention. On 3 rolled 6s, something comes up that changes the stories in unexpected ways. That'll be interesting. And, hey, Brianna, let's go over. What did I tell you? I said we'd do everything together. She pats Samantha on the back. Let's go find your companion. And the two head out into the night. The two of them walk down the streets. This time it's a quieter portion of the city. Samantha is watching every shadow, guiding herself forward, checking every corner, watching every strange movement, whether cat, the occasional dog. And it's the dogs that make her nervous. The dogs that scare her. She expects any of them to lunge out and attack her. Any of them to strike, to hit, to drag her off to the underworld. They don't. They're strays. I think it's unlikely. I think it's highly unlikely, actually. But we're going to roll and ask, do they run into Captain Crop? Here comes the roll, leaning towards the lower. Yes, they run into him. But what can the but be? They run into him, but he's agitated. He's uncertain. Was he attacked? Cultist, not Black Shuck. Was he attacked by cultists when he was alone? Here comes the roll. No, but he's noticed that someone's been following him. People have been shadowing, and when he tries to confront, they're gone. He's being shadowed. So when he turns a corner, and they rush in after, he lunges out from the side of the building as they try to catch up. And he stops with his sword before hitting Samantha, and she holds up her hands. Ashamed of herself for reacting like such a fucking coward when she sees that it's cropped. Crop, not cropped. The hell are you two doing out here? Crop says. You're not the ones following me, right? No, we're not. People are following you? Sam looks back the road they came. Yeah, they are. I count at least 3 people. Why are you so far out here, trying to lose them and not bring them back to you? Do you still have the... And Brianna covers Samantha's mouth. Yes, I still have it. Has Samantha developed a dog phobia? We can roll that. Is Samantha afraid of dogs now? Get off the screen, mouse. Yes. Yes, she is deathly afraid of hounds. Yes, I still have it. Were you guys followed on your way here? I wasn't looking. Brianna says, No, I've been watching. Good. Captain, we're heading towards... You can just call me Alfred. I think we've been through enough. Alfred, we're heading back towards the shop owned by Colby. My partner was supposed to be investigating it, and he hasn't come back. Okay. Look, I'll go with you. Just. You start seeing shit, you let me know. Because I'm pretty sure something's following us. We'll make them. We'll make them pay. You really need to work at your one-liners, Brianna says. And the three of them carry off back towards the shop. The back alley shows off that brief sign of violence where the door was broken. The window shattered as they approach. And when they try to move it because he had broken in, it does budge. It kicks. They look through the window, see the shadow, and move in. They immediately notice the broken glass to the right of the door. Something happened here. Yeah, no shit, Brianna says. As they look, the front door is closed. Samantha lays her hand on the shattered glass on the table, picks a piece up, lays it down, puts her lantern beside the bed. The flame is reflected on the pieces beside it. Is there some sort of residual once Shuck leaves? So would we see the fact that there are black marks upon the ground, almost like scorch marks, I suppose, would be a good way to put it. So here comes the roll. What are there any signs of Black Shuck's appearance? Yes, but they fade. We'll say D4 hours. Here comes the roll. 2 hours, and the black marks left by Shuck fade. It's probably almost been 2 hours, so we'll just roll a neutral roll. Are there any signs left? No, there are no signs left, but quite obviously something has happened. We'll say that Andrew's sword is on the ground. We got a sword here. Rob looks at it. He kneels. He keeps his shield to his left, almost guarding his face, ready to defend himself. Let me see it. Samantha walks to his side. Oh, gods, and she picks it up. Is it your friend's? Yeah. You're certain? You had an inscription on it. Ad Victoriam. She walks over to the weapon rack, with Brianna sort of trailing as she approaches the rack. Is there a scabbard here that would fit the sword? I'm just going to roll for it likely. Here comes the roll. No. No, and we'll say the weapons rack was cleared out by the cultists. They came back after they left because they forgot something, particularly those weapons, but they didn't feel the need to take his weapon. Maybe it was a warning, a threat. Samantha sighs. She just keeps the sword with her. Where can we get it next, and where do we find him? We're not going to find him, Sam says. We're not going to find him. Did you ever find the other dagger you went out for? No. They started trailing me when I got close. Did they pick up the dagger? Did they get it back? I'm going to roll it towards likely. Here comes the roll. No. No, they didn't get it back. But they're more likely to get it than they are. Than they being the group than we are. Son of a bitch. We had a plan, Samantha says. Yeah, what's that? He rests the shield against his thigh as he rests along the shelf. You were gonna look after Emir. That little piece of shit dock worker? Yes, Brianna says. I know that he stays at Ma's boarding house. And I figured going after him would be the most direct way of getting a hold of the cult. Finding more information. The bastard had something against us, he knew. He got away. We track him down, we might be able to find out where our next move is. Maybe a lair for these things. At least learn more about the daggers. Do you think he'd go back there? No. But I bet somebody at the boarding house knew. Saw him coming and going. Those people are hard up, they'll squill for the right amount of money. How much is the right amount of money? And before Brianna can respond, Samantha walks behind the counter, reaches underneath, shuffles about a bit before she pulls up. No dictation. Does she find money? Leaning towards likely, here comes the roll. No, she doesn't find money, but she finds a few jewels. I'm sure this'll be enough, and Samantha sets down a handful of jewels, rubies, sapphires, emeralds. That's theft. There's no one here to claim them. Probably belongs to the cult anyways. We don't know that. Arrest me then. She scoops them up into her own coin purse. Take me to Ma's boarding house. Brianna looks to Crop. It's near the docks, he says. Good. And the three of them leave the shop. Multi-story building. I want to ask, is this boarding house particularly aimed towards the unwealthy, like destitute house? Just leaving it neutral. Yes, but they are attempting recent renovations to change that outlook, to make themselves seem and sound better. The three of them step in. It's a spacious room. Person that behind the counter. I just apparently grabbed a small child, so we'll say, yeah, this place is probably poor enough to work off child labor. We all love child labor. Hashtag not sponsored. We're gonna keep that joke alive. Is there anybody else in the lobby beside the person at the counter? No. And she seems to be the only one here. Is she hesitant to answer the guards? I feel like that's likely if this is for the destitute. Yes, she is going to be hostile. And the three of them look to the child, who looks up. She recognizes the guard uniform on Crop. Hell, she probably recognizes Crop. And she removes the paper that was on the desk and sets it beneath her. Welcome to Ma's boarding house, the child says. I would be surprised if you're here for a room, so I think it's best that she stops. I think it's best that I help you right away, actually. And she tries to kick on this cute child look. What can I do for you, officer? Is your mom home? Crop asks. We both know Mommy's been away for a while. What about your father? Brianna says, though Sam's right. Nope. Daddy's on business. And they leave care to a child? Plot twist. Is this actually a child? No. And it's a... You said halfling, so we'll say it's a halfling. And they left you in charge? That's a halfling, Samantha. You don't know, I could be a kid. cut this shit. We're here for information. Look, you know the rules. We ain't got information here. We keep a strict policy of not giving out anything about the people who stay here. It's off in the Constitution. We don't have a Constitution. Well, we should. Listen, we need the information right away. Brianna, remember that we're still on duty. You know you're not supposed to be behind the counter. That's a direct violation of some sort of law code. I don't see anybody that would stop us here. I mean, shit. Do you have any witnesses? The halfling backs away. Brianna. Does Samantha get involved in this? I'm going to lean towards likely because she's kind of mad right now, and she's probably the type of person to puff up her chest around somebody who she's bigger than, and that's a yes. So Samantha starts walking around to the other side. Whoa, shit, what gives, lady? Is Crop going to try to stop them? Neutral rule. Crop is going to try to stop them, but not yet. He holds himself quiet. Hey, what gives, lady? You're not supposed to be back here either. Allow me to performance check if she can pull herself together to give this sort of flair to scare the halfling. Performance of 5, check of, we'll say 12. It's in her nature to do this. That's a d6. Here comes the roll. For 11, that fails. That sucks. But we can ask, does the halfling know this woman can break it? I would think that it's likely, because if this halfling works for the underground, she would kind of know that, but I'll let you decide if that's neutral, likely, or unlikely. But I feel like somebody who's trying to be a criminal would have a understanding of, like, these guys are the worst of the worst news. Likely then, okay. Rolling 2 dice. Does this halfling know that? Here comes the roll. No, she doesn't know that, but she has that idea that arbiters are just, she thinks of them like super cops. So she's not unassuming. Sorry, why am I stumbling over this? No, she doesn't know that they are above the law, but she assumes that they are like some sort of high-ranking officer. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Arbiter Songbringer, and as she says that, she knocks a bottle of ink off the table with the sword in her hand. Said you're an Arbiter? She is. So I would assume that you should do some talking. Throw you in slammer for all of your life. How long do halflings live? A couple billion years? That's not even... Nope, don't say a word. But my freedom of nothing. It's best that you talk. We can also get you beheaded. Brianna. Does this make the halfling talk? No. If you were going to do that, your little buddy with the mohawk over there wouldn't be trying to stop you. Intimidation check from Sam. +4, aiming for is 16. Dude, I can't succeed at anything today. But he can't stop me, Sam says, stepping closer. Then why ain't you done it yet? Because if you were really a whatchamacallit, I figure you'd be stopping me by now, or at least putting me in some shackles, or reading me my rights. We don't have rights here. Shut up. So, I think it's best if you just do it, grab her by the throat. All right, yeah, we will totally do that. So I think it's best if you just skedaddle. Because otherwise, you're not gonna... She is grabbed, pushed up against the counter, and Just for the fun of it, the other hand comes up, grabs her by her coat, and lifts the halfling off the ground. Her little legs kick and jingle as she tries to escape. Is this Samantha that did it? Yeah, Sam's the one holding her, forcing her against the fucking wardrobe. Assault! This is assault! And Samantha chokes. Damn it, Samantha, stop! And as he approaches, lays a hand on her, she pushes him back, like moves off with the shoulder. Now, I have had a long fucking night, and she turns and slams the halfling onto the table. It causes other other tables, quills to fall off and hit the ground. Samantha! And I really would appreciate if you told me what the fuck was going on here. Because as far as I know, if you're gonna hold me, you're obstructing justice, and I'll put you to the goddamn axe. What do you want to know? And Sam lets her go. The girl falls to the other side of the table and then rises. Does she try to run? She glances towards the door. No, she doesn't try to run. Perhaps Brianna starts moving along. She runs her hand across the table as she approaches. I know what you're thinking of, but are you sure your stubby little legs would help? I ain't seen shit. Samantha tries to get past Crop, who grabs her arm aggressively. You're in my city. I rank above you, Captain. I know your friend died. But you can't go about doing this. Under the authority granted to me by Pope Lumina of the Thule Theocracy, I order you to let me go. He lets go of her. Seeing Crop be put in his place throws a whole new wave of fear on the halfling. She takes a step back, with Brianna rounding to cut her off. Now, if you tell me everything I want to know, all the information that we ask, nothing else will happen to you. Besides, she kneels in front of the halfling. I don't like harming children. I'm not a kid. Right. Then I guess nothing's gonna stop me. She backhands the halfling. Sam! Is she gonna talk back to the captain? I'm gonna make this a neutral role. Normally she wouldn't, but she's probably a little stressed out and kind of getting off on scaring this child to this halfling. So Samantha gonna talk back to him. Neutral role, here it comes. Yes, but she's not gonna be outright aggressive, but she is gonna say something. If you can't handle it, Captain, I suggest you wait outside and make sure no one approaches. You did say we were being followed. Does he do it? Probably unlikely. No. And he folds his arms. I'm staying right here. Then don't get in the way. We're looking for Amir. Do you know where he is? Does she? No. And he hasn't been here for several days. Honest, I swear, the halfling says. Do you keep a logbook? It's right there underneath the table. Captain, if you would. He strolls over, and there are several logbooks here. Which one is it? The one on the top, dingus. He pulls it out and slams it down. He hasn't been here for D6 days. I said days before, so we'll say it's a D6 plus 1 So 2 days. He hasn't been here for 2 days. You can go back and find out where it is. In fact, that son of a bitch needs to pay for his room. So when you get done with him, can you send him back towards me? We need a key to his room. Look it, I can't. Yes, you can. Intimidation check. This is a 10 because Samantha's biting into that. She's got that cold stone look that her brother, that Corvus, has told her you need to keep up. And now it's coming naturally. Now she's fucking mad. This is an intimidation of +4 against a 10. 10 exactly for 14. Yes, you can, Samantha says. She straightens up her back and towers above the halfling. It's the fourth key on the third line. The fourth key from the left. Captain, Samantha says. Pressing his lips together, trying to keep himself from huffing, he does grab the key. Has he been talking to anyone else? Brianna says from behind the halfling, who whips around and looks at her. Does she know? I'm going to lean it towards unlikely, because I doubt she asks questions. And that's a 2. No, not that I've seen. Not that you've seen or not that you want to say. I don't go up there and check, all right? They pay their rent, I leave them alone. We don't ask questions here. I need the keys to his neighbors' rooms, too. Is this legal? Captain Crop, is this legal? Yeah, it is. He has the authority over us. Which keys are they? Every key on that row was to one in his fucking hall. So take as many as you would like. What do I care? You're only going to shut me down when this is over with. That's not what we're here for. You said he hasn't talked to anybody. Has he been getting visitors? No. No, in fact, he hasn't been spending a lot of time in his room either. Comes and goes as he pleases. You got anything you want to ask, Brianna? What about you, Crop? What about you, people past that weird glass screen? I got nothing, Crop says. Have you seen him with anything? Brianna asks the child, the halfling. Has he been bringing anything with him? Anything unusual? No. No, he hasn't. And everything seems just fine to me. I told you we're not here to ask questions. Does she know where Ma is? Yes, she does. Yeah, the die is not working in our favor today. You're not going to tell anybody that we're here, right? No, I'm not. But you're going to tell us if anybody shows up? And how am I going to do that? Do you think I have a way to announce something? Do they have bells on the wall? Yes. What are these bells? Look, and Samantha forcibly grabs her hand, turns it over, and places the smallest sapphire in it. You'll give us ample warning, won't you? Bitch, if you would have just started with this, I'd have told you everything you wanted to know. Joseph, up on the 6th floor, he's been selling birdseed to children. And you didn't tell us that earlier. I have a desk to man if you're done. Crop grabs the room to the 5th floor, or the key to the 5th floor. Place down a door to represent the room that they're going towards. We'll say that one. Every other square is just assumed to have a door so we don't clutter the camera space. They move up the hall, It's quiet here. The fire downstairs faded as they move up a floor. And despite the fact that the walls are janky, their cold stone keeps out the rest of the world. It would be dark up here if they didn't bring a single lantern, this one held by Crop, as Samantha forgot to bring her own. He left it on that table, and he's the one that snatched it. She's not even aware that it belonged to her. He leads them up the hall, seething internally because of what Samantha just did. Perhaps a part of him is glad that she found that backbone, but this is not the time, and he thinks it's a little cowardly of her to only feel strength when picking on someone smaller than her, much like any bully he's ever come across. The last one on the left, Rob says as they approach. If he's here, I don't want you doing anything bad. I'm not going to. Yeah. That's what I thought before you did. I got us the room, didn't I? The key, I mean. Shouldn't be going about getting it that way. It makes you no better than them. Save it. I've come up with better lines in my sleep. The door opens outward as he unlocks it. Peeks through with a shield and the lantern over it. Glances about. The light reflects a bit off the steel in front of him. But there's no one in here. Is there anybody in here? Let's ask that. We don't dictate. Is there someone in here? Here comes the roll. Yes, but they're hiding. Of course they're fucking hiding. Is it Amir? Unlikely, but is it Amir? No. Not Amir, but perhaps a cultist. Not Amir, but a cultist. Is this cultist hiding out, though? Not specifically waiting to ambush. Is he here to hide? Yes. Intervention. Yes, this person is hiding here. And he has the lost dagger that was taken, the one out in the streets. He found it. Looks clear, the captain says. He walks in, sets the lantern on the table, draws his sword. Samantha moves in behind him. Brianna waits at the door. I'm guessing from the way that this section is set up that the guy is hiding underneath the bed. And common sense would tell me that when you're investigating a room, you straight up check underneath the bed. We have an excellent question from Megbu. Is he hiding from the cult? That's fun. Do you think that's likely, Megbu, or neutral? Neutral, you say. Here comes the new... Oh, wait, you roll yourself. Would you like to roll that? We did establish you as part of the cult, Magica. You do it, but make it... No, you do it, but make it likely. Here are the 2 dice. Here comes the roll. Is he hiding from the cult? There is the intervention. Good time to have an intervention. Let's see what comes up. Switching to the intervention scene where we roll a d6 and one of those things happen. Let's see what it is. D6, anything but 5. Fuck you. The dice make me feel like my father because now I know what it's like to be disappointed. So we're regressing the plot. Somebody back at the base, and the base, I mean the office where Black Shuck attacked, is an undercover cultist. And in that time of him being an undercover cultist, the regression of the plot is that other dagger that was there, that was protected in evidence, is being taken by the cult, taken back. So the cult now has one of the daggers. But so does this guy, who is hiding from the cult. Back to the Oracle. Samantha, using Andrew's sword, places it underneath the bed and feels around so she pokes something. Male or female? Here comes the roll. Even male, odd female. Even male. No. Ugh! What? She takes a step back. And the captain glances towards it. Come out, now! If I do, they'll kill me. If you don't, we'll kill... Oh, Samantha. If you don't, we'll kill you. Hesitantly, the man crawls out from under the bed and stands up. His hands are raised, but they can clearly see the dagger in his hand. Is that a shuck dagger? The cultist nods. Set it down on the table, right there on the shelf. Okay. Okay. He backs up after setting it down. I surrender. Okay? Does that cultist know about the spy? That is a good question. Let's go ahead and roll that. Do you think that is likely or neutral? Neutral. We don't know how the cult operates or what his position was. Okay? Neutral roll for a standard D6. Does this cultist here know about the spy? Yes. Yes, he does. And do you want to come up with the ad for that one, Samoa? He's willing to trade the information in exchange for something, immunity or protection. All right, we'll go with that. I surrender. It's awfully convenient of you. Exactly, Samantha says. Is she going to react with aggression? Actually, is what I want to know for Sam. So is she going to be aggressive with this? I think it's likely because right now she's mad and she wants to kind of like take that vengeance out. So if this guy surrenders, she thinks he's weaker than her right now, of course. So she's going to push that in. I guess we're making Samantha sort of a fucking bully. What a bitch, Sam. Yes, but she's immediately going to be cut off by Crop. I surrender. Yeah, very convenient of you. It's not going to save your ass. She lifts her sword and it's caught by the shield, blocked by Crop. We don't strike an unarmed man. You don't want to strike me, the cultist says. I got something you might want to know. Yeah? And what's that? You give me protection and immunity from when the cult falls. And I sing like a fucking bird. Crop has that uncertainty within him. He's not sure that he wants to let someone walk. But before he can say anything, Samantha speaks up. Deal. She pulls her sword away. Good. And the cultist sits on the bed, trying to make himself look as nonchalant as possible. What do you have for us, then? There's a plant inside your barracks. Is there more than one? I think it's likely, so here comes 2 dice, there's the roll. Yes, but he doesn't know exactly how many. We're going to roll 2 dice here. First is going to be a D6 plus 1. First is going to be a D8 plus 1. And then that's how many that's there. And then the D4 will be how many he knows of. So here it is. D8 plus 1 for how many people infiltrated the barracks. Shit. There are 9 soldiers that are actually members of the cult. How many does this cultist know of? 3 of them. He knows that 3 are infiltrating. Know that 3 of your boys are really my boys. That piques Brianna's interest. She raises on her toes, looking over Samantha. The fuck did you just say? 3 of them. There's probably more, but those are the 3 we know. Is he a handler for the cult? And by a handler, I mean, is he the type of person that gets information between them, between the cult and the plants? I'll leave it neutral because one, if he doesn't know all of the people planted, that's, leaves it towards unlikely. But I think the cult would be smart enough to have more than one handler taking care of those people, because if one gets caught, you still have the others inside there. So neutral role. Was he a handler for them? No. No, he was not a handler. But where can we find the but in that? He was not a handler. But obviously he has this information. But he was a handler for people working on the docks. That would explain why he knows Amir's room, why he knows how to get there. We can also say, yes, pack that in with the fact that his mentor was. Perhaps he was being trained by another person who worked on that. So it gave him the information towards the group working in the guards, not all of the information. And that was how he was used. He was being trained with the dock workers. He was being groomed for a higher tier. So that means he's not very high up in the cult, but he's definitely higher than your average person. Is he willing to trade in his mentor? I think that's likely, because if he's willing to give protection, he said he'll give everything, he's probably going to do it. There's a 6-second intervention. Yes, he's willing to give in his mentor, and he's willing to give in his mentor and the people that work the docks that he knows of. He's going to take everybody down with him. Who are they? Answer me. Krop gets forward, his own aggression coming through. Samantha doesn't stop him, but she notices it, and perhaps a sly, half-cocky smile like, you fucking hypocrite, but she doesn't say that. I don't know. You lie. I don't know. But I can get you the man who does. All right? I swear that on my life. The one that you're supposed to protect. So, probably don't want to hurt me. Krop picks up the dagger. That means that we have all 4 of them. Hopefully. Assuming one of our guys didn't get the other one back. The daggers, Samantha says. What do you know about them? Well, I'm gonna need you to be a little more specific about that, dear Arbiter Lady. I can only answer yes or no questions. Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Do you know how they work? I do. Why do you think I have that? It reaches out, plucks beasts from the Shadowfell. Beasts. There are different creatures? No. That thing they've been calling Black Shuck. There's more than one of them. It's a pack of them. A couple of our guys were able to go in there, bind them to the dagger. Can it be broken? The bindings, that is. Leaning it towards likely. Here comes the roll. Oh, shit. No, they cannot be broken. So saith the dice. All worship the dice. No. The binding only breaks when they die. Or when the dagger breaks. So we did not establish And I'm assuming, just from the way the question was phrased, we did not establish that this is the same cultist from the frenzy, but that is an interesting thing to ask. Let's go ahead and see. Is this the same cultist from the frenzy? Or one of the cultists from the frenzy? We will leave that neutral and see if he is. Is he from the frenzy? One of the ones that were grabbed? Yes. Yes, he is. And intervention, but I got it. Yes, and we couldn't find one of the daggers, remember? We didn't see movie logic. If you don't see them die, they didn't die. We didn't see the guard that ran out. We just said he ran out and screamed into the night. So he was able to get away from it. We have already said that the daggers can damage him. Is there a way using the dagger to desummon? No, you can't. Because if you desummon Black Shuck, he wouldn't have came back for the frenzy. Let's check the intervention before we go forward. This is a D6. And here it comes. 2. Entity positive. Okay, so something good is going to happen. Quite obviously, he was the one that was taken. Let's give him the entity positive. How did he survive when he got grabbed? The entity positive, he was able to come back from the Shadowfell. So now we do have to figure out how he survived when he was grabbed. I'm going to take a drink of water. If anybody has a suggestion for that, I am all ears, like the Dead by Daylight perk no one uses. I did just say cultists go there to bind Shucks. He knows that? Yes, they would have to be a way to get in and get out somehow. But would he know that is what I was saying. He knows they go in there. But how would he get back without it being found? Are the daggers, because they are capable of bringing something from the Shadow Realm, from the Shadowfell through Black Shuck. Are they capable? Are they a key of some sort to get in and out yourself? Let's find out. Here's the roll. I'll lean that towards likely, if I can get the dice to fucking roll. Leaning it towards likely. Here it comes. It looks like they're both twos. No, they are not a key to go back and forth. So there's got to be another way. Are there established portals to the Shadowfell? Like specific areas to get in and out? It's a G negative. No, it's the Oracle. That's a no but. No, there are not established portals, but there are definitely ways to set a portal to go back and forth. Does the cult know he escaped? Yes, but they don't know where he is. So we have established already that Shuck takes you to the Shadowfell, but he doesn't kill you. When you're bound, he takes you there. Or when you're cut, he takes you there so that you can be fed to the... So the Mind Flayer must be in the Shadowfell. Maybe the portals appear naturally, but they can be predicted. Oh, that would be insane. Like a natural phenomenon. Do you think that's likely or unlikely? That's a interesting way to look at it. They can be predicted. Kind of like using like a star chart or going back in time with the flyer so that you know when lightning's going to strike. There are definitely other ways to go out about it. Crystals, actual spells, stuff to go through, but we can roll this likely just to check. Are these natural occurring portals that can be predicted? Here comes the roll. Yes. Yes, they are. Does he have the means to predict them? He knows the means, but he doesn't have them on him. Man, through that entire ramble, I lost the last point that we had talked from. He said they come from the Shadowfell, that there's more than one. I'm pretty sure that's where we left off. That's where we will continue. What do you mean more than one? A whole pack of them, the cultist says. A whole pack of them that we've bound to come and do our job. Can the means be recreated? I'm guessing likely on that one, Samoa? And in the meantime, does he know about the Mind Flayer larva? I'm gonna guess that's likely and roll for that. Yes, he knows about the larva. And yeah, okay. Can the heroes recreate the means to get into the Shadowfell? Again, do you think that is likely or neutral or perhaps unlikely? But he knows about the Mind Flayer. He's going to be able to reveal that to us. Neutral roll. Can the means to get into the Shadowfell be recreated by the heroes? Yes. Yes, they can. When it grabbed me, it took me. Still had the dagger with me. You're one of the people that was the one being attacked, so we'll use him. You're one of the people that attacked me. One of the people that come and took my life. I am. Is Crop gonna lose it here? I think that's unlikely. No. 2 knows. He's gonna keep calm. He's a nice guy. He doesn't say anything. There's that brief reflection in his eyes that he's standing in front of a man that tried to kill him. Why are they taking people? We have a Mind Flayer larva. Had a Mind Flayer larva. We needed to sustain it till it was capable of finding a host. Does it have one? The harbor master. Samantha looks to Brianna. He's gotta be planted by now. They were making the final preparations. Holy shit. Is he alone? What? Do you have an actual full-grown Mind Flayer there? Probably likely. Here comes the roll. First intervention. Yes, and... Yeah, we do. And it's getting orders directly from an elder brain. Samantha's immediate instinct is to start pacing, but when she takes a step back, she bumps into Brianna. Now, having done all the research, I know how all of that shit works. Within 5 miles, if an elder brain is able to communicate with a illithid, it's because they're within 5 miles. They can use 2 other means of communicating with through longer distances. There is an actual illithid device that they can use to increase the range, or they can kind of chain through other illithids. So we need to establish 2 things here. One, does Samantha know that they communicate with elder brains? Let's check that first. I'm going to leave it towards likely because as an arbiter, she's probably given this information, and I think that she would actually study it because she wants to make interesting stories. So here comes the roll. Does Samantha know how the elder brain functions? Yes, and there's a second intervention. Yes, and she has a pretty good idea. She knows everything I know, essentially, on how they function, is what we'll put. Everything I know and the audience, anything we collectively know is what Samantha would know. And the second thing I want to know is this elder brain actually within 5 miles of the city? I'm going to leave that one neutral. But to move the story along, we are just going to make this a fucking neutral roll. Even, it's in the Shadowfell, and odd, it's here in the city. Just so we're not caught up on this. What is the roll? Even, it's in the Shadowfell. So we can already establish that it's with the thing, and it's with the illithid. It's definitely in the Shadowfell. You say an elder brain. Is it here? Is it in the city? No. It's with the tadpole. in the Shadowfell. Does Crop know about the Elder Brain? Does he know about them? No. Does Brianna know about them? No, but she's heard the name before. Why do you look so damn pale? An Elder Brain is a walking library, Samantha says. A hive mind for the illithids. Capable of hijacking you, spawning off others, making giant golems made of brain matter. You can't sneak up on, can't hide from it. You can't even hope to kill it. There are ways to kill it, the cultist says. Yeah. But I don't think we can. Does the cult have a plan? We'll make it 2 questions. The first question is, did the cult plan a way to kill it? Yes, and it's their backup plan. They think they can outsmart the fucking Elder Brain. But there's our third intervention. Wrong button. Jesus Christ, wrong buttons left and right. Here's the intervention. Let's roll it. 1. A new entity. What could this new entity be? Well, now I wonder how or why it moved from the Underdark to the Shadowfell. That's a good question. Yes. See, I was thinking that he would read their mind for the countermeasures too. But we'll address that after the new entity. The new entity will be that he has there are other illithids waiting. We only know of the one that's helping, but the Elder Brain has other illithids. That's the new entity. I know it says entity is 1, but we'll make it multiple. I'm going to make it D4. Clear this out, go back to the Oracle. How many others are there? Jesus. All right. This is starting to look pretty dangerous. There are 4 other illithids. Perhaps that's his backup plan. He's letting them think they found a way to take care of it, and the 4 other illithids there are secretly hiding. The cult... Does the cult know about the illithids? Making it unlikely, here comes the roll. 3. No, they don't know of the other illithids, but maybe they suspect there's an extra 1. They don't know how many. They think just 1. They don't know there's multiple. Oh, we can kill it. We've already have the plan for it. You gotta be kidding me. Did they help get it to the Shadowfell? I was about to establish that, but let's ask, did they help get it to the Shadowfell? I think that's likely, so here comes the roll. Yes, they did. Oh, no, we have a way. Bullshit. When we got it to the Shadowfell, the pool that we have it in, we got it ready to spill out at any moment. Dehydrate the bastard. Let him air out before we do him in. You think that the Elder Brain's not going to know to protect its own brine pool? Like it's not going to scour every inch of it? You think you can outsmart them? It hasn't figured it yet. Believe me, we know. You think you know. When I was training with the wizards back in Thule, they had us memorize 10 rules. And the wizard's first rule was, people will believe anything they wish was true or want to be true simply because they want it to be true. You can't outsmart an elder brain. We have 5 illithids. That's a very small colony. I would say it's likely they're refugees. That does make sense. True. Yes, because I believe the Githyanki were essentially hunting these things down, right? To take them out. Because they, for those of you unversed with the lore, and I got like a fucking child's grasp on it, I'm pretty sure that they were enslaved by the illithids. Like, the Githyanki were enslaved by them for like a long ass time until they turn the corners, change that, and now they hunt down the illithids whenever they can. I need air, Samantha says. I don't think it's smart for you to go off by yourself. She stops down the hall. And if you know about these things, I think it's best that you start telling us everything you can. And Brianna watches the cultist, who keeps his hands up. I don't know what I can tell you. Anything would help. They're from the Underdark, if that helps at all. Not used to sunlight. In fact, they're covered in a mucus. Okay, Alfred? And if you can dehydrate them, it makes them weak. Not weak, but it weakens them in general. Magical, their defenses. They attack the mind. No sense of smell. Hearing's not that good. And the light, the cultist says, walking to Brianna. I don't think you should leave. I'm not. I just want so they can hear me. All right? I'm on your side. And how do we know that we can trust that? You don't. I guess for all you know, I could be making this shit up about the Elder Brain. But I'm not. I mean, you got one of the shuck daggers back there. I'm cooperating, man. You have to trust me on this. What's your name? Leo. My name's Leo. Right, Leo. They can't see for shit either. The illithids, anyways. They got this weird, like, animalistic predator vision, right? They can see, like, your body heat, but they can't see under bright light. They have goggles, Samantha says. Yeah, but if you get them off, that's what we were planning to do for the illithid. That thing will flay you alive. You're doing its bidding. Whether you think you are or not. And how did I get out with this dagger? Huh? I don't know, Samantha says. Well, how do we stop it then? Brianna says. I told you, the brine pool. If I said Samantha says, I meant Brianna says. And Sam carries on down the hall, heading for the stairwell. She shouldn't be out there alone. I'll go with her. You can stay here with our new friend. Leo! I don't care. And she follows Sam. You got anything else to say? I suggest you start talking. Man, I'll tell you everything you need to know. Mind you that the building that I'm placing in front is supposed to be a multi-story building. Okay, a deadline of sorts, I got you. But I'm not placing a multi-story building because I don't have one yet, and this is just for the sake of convenience. But the two of them being Samantha and Brianna stand outside of the inn. Samantha takes a few steps out, places her hands on her knees, and takes a deep breath. Hey, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Don't touch me. Just, I'm sorry, don't touch me. Okay, I won't. Is it really that bad? Yeah, it is. We were supposed to. Me and Andrew were supposed to take care of a witch, and now we're talking about an elder brain. This isn't just for one person, okay? This is an entire army of arbiters. I mean, not just arbiters. You get every fucking buddy. We should be getting letters to the mages, to the wizards, literally everyone. Get the fucking elves, anyone that we can. What? Why did you stop? That guy. What guy? Daniel. You said his name was Daniel. Yeah, what about him? Do you trust him? Sam, what are you? And Samantha gets close, placing a hand on Bree, pushing her to the wall. Do you trust him? Why? Because I don't know if he's actually going to send those letters out. Is Daniel actually going to send the letters? No. And he kills all of the pigeons within that guard shack. Not saying that they don't have another way to send pigeons, but he just made sure that they couldn't from that area. Yes, I trust him. Well, does Brianna trust him, actually? Let's ask that. Just a neutral roll. Ooh, almost a 6. No, look, he's a lazy piece of shit, but I wouldn't say that he's untrustable. We should go back and check. Gods, we left them Seneca, and Samantha turns to move, and then Brianna catches her arm. We can't go running off. What happened to that cautious attitude you had earlier? I'm the only arbiter here. We shouldn't leave Crop like that, Brianna says as Samantha tries to leave again. Then go get him. As we get closer here, I want to ask a question. Is the office a new form of wreck? Let's find out. Yes. Yes, it's a new form of mess. And no one is here. Everyone is gone. Where are all the guards? Brianna asks as they approach. Stay here. I'll go in and check. Drawing his sword, holding his shield, Crop walks in alone. Leaning it towards Likely. Are there new signs of blood here? And that is yes, but there's not a lot of blood. A small amount. Whatever happened here wasn't a bloodbath. Does it blend in with the older blood? No. But to somebody that wasn't paying attention, to somebody that wasn't looking, they would think it was part of the older blood. He has a +0, apparently. I'm going to make the save 14. No. He doesn't see the blood difference. It's clear in here, Crop shouts out. Samantha walks in behind him. Bree makes the cultist follow. Samantha has a perception of +6. Same of 14 roll. Here it comes. 20. It's not the same. Samantha approaches the shelf. There wasn't blood here, she says. She pulls it open, and there is no knife. They have the shuck dagger. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Told you your boys weren't to be trusted. We should probably go and find out their handler. No, we have to be a lot more careful now that they have the dagger. Fuck! They have Seneca. And? Do you really think he's not going to squeal out? Samantha pushes through the door in the back. Seneca! But it's empty. Fuck! She says. He's definitely going to say something. Okay, yeah, but you have something they don't know. Yeah, and what's that? Me. Leo says. They don't know I'm here. They don't know that I've told you everything we know. You have advantage right now. We can use that to our fucking benefit. Brianna closes the door. 3 daggers, she says. We have 3 of the 4. Leo, can they make more of them? Leaning it towards likely. Here comes the roll. 5, yes. Yeah, they can. How? Do they have to get other shucks? Can they, like, bind a different shuck to a dagger? I think that's likely, so here comes the roll. No! And it has nothing to do with the amount of shucks. It's just a ritual spell. Yeah, they just have to cast a ritual spell on a shuck. Can it be done with anything? Crop asks. Yeah. Actually, they have no dictation. I didn't mean to roll it. No dictation. I'm going to roll have 2 dice because I think it's likely. Do they have a dagger specifically meant to summon the illithid that they know of? Yes. Second intervention. Yes, they do have it, and he knows who has it. Obviously, it's going to be Freric. Yeah, they can, actually. Lord Freric. He has a dagger capable of summoning the illithid. You can do that? There's a lot of things you can do with magic. Samantha. She starts thinking. Things within her mind, gears turning because we're going cliche with it. Do you think we could perform the ritual on the altar brain? Summon it somewhere outside of the brine. Like the middle of a desert or something. I'm going to make that unlikely. Here comes the roll. I see a 1. Nope. No, you can't. And, the ritual takes too fucking long. The elder brain, it's illithids, it would snatch you up as you try to do it. Takes at least an hour of chanting to get it to work. And that's with creatures that are not as strong as an elder brain, so I highly doubt we're going to be able to do that. Thought I was onto something there. Oh, believe me, we thought of it too. Do any of the cultists know the spells to do this? I'm going to roll that unlikely because I feel like the illithids would try to keep that to themselves. Oh, shit! Intervention. And with an unlikely, we rolled double 6s. Yes, they know it, and the illithids don't know that the cultists have that. That would be difficult to keep secret. So there's got to be a way that we can explain that. Find a way to do it. How can we say that the illithids wouldn't know that they have a way to do it? Perhaps they are in contact with another section of the cult or the necromancers from earlier that are aware of the spell. Let's check out the intervention before fleshing that out. Here comes the roll for it. What's the intervention? 4. Advance the plot. Okay, so we are advancing the plot forward in some method. Okay, there it is, right there. Samoa just said something really good. Samoa says, those cultists who know it are wearing amulets that shield their mind. So we will make the advancement of the plot and just establish that for like 100%, that there are amulets that shield their mind. Let's get something up there. We're going to make it a +1. This is a D4 +1 for how many amulets are out there. So let's get that first. There are 3 amulets. The cultists who know, so there are 3 cultists who know for sure. So 3 cultists have those amulets. But he wouldn't know that, because if he knew that... Does he have one of those amulets? Let's ask that. I'm going to make this a 2-tier question. I'm going to make this a 2-tier question for 2 reasons. 1, because it might explain his escape, and 2, it would complicate the shit out of the story in a good way. Yes, those cultists are high-ranking cultists, but homie got back from the Shadowfell. We're going to ask this, but I'm going to throw out exactly what I'm thinking first. What if he found a way to steal one of the amulets? In doing so, he protected his own mind, but he didn't know that he exposed that the cultists are aware and have this ability to summon it. So he accidentally, in giving our heroes that side of the advantage, he accidentally gave the Elder Brain an advantage. So he just kind of screwed over the cult and themselves without him even knowing it. And I'm just going to make it a neutral roll and not lean it towards anything else, just to see if the dice agree with me on that, because that would be a really interesting development. Did Leo steal one of the amulets? Here comes the roll. Not advanced plot. Yes, he did steal one of the amulets, but he killed the person that had it. So that information didn't get out. Saved ourselves there for just a bit. It would have been a lot more interesting if it was just a straight up, yeah, he did. Let's be fair with it. I'm going to lean it towards a negative, but we're still giving them a chance. Was the Elder Brain able to read the dying man's thoughts? Leaning towards a negative. Here comes the roll. Negative. No, and he died before the Elder Brain could find out that they knew. So, shit, there we go. But he doesn't know about, he doesn't know that they know the way to do it. They just know that it can be summoned. So no, they don't have it. That's a good question. From when I asked it, I had phrased it to the point where it sounded like only 3 cultists had it. So we can find that out. What do you think? Neutral, likely, unlikely for there to be more? Likely 3 + 1. Okay. So here comes the roll then. Rolling towards likely. Are there more? Here comes the roll. No. No, there are not more. That is a solid no with 2 no's. So there are just 3 right now. And he has the one that he took. So with that revelation, yes, and Leo has 1. Can more be created? Can more of these amulets be created? Asks Megbu. Let's roll that. Megbu, do you think that's likely, unlikely, neutral? Would you like to roll it? Go ahead and let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to ask, is Leo going to hide the fact that he has this amulet? You know, keep his own ace in the hole. Leo's not hiding it, and he's going to say it. And Megbu rolled for can more be created, and the roll is no. And what is the and, Megbu? Oh, that's a good one by Samoa. They didn't create the ones they have, if you accept that, Megbu. Yeah. And that is instructed as canon. More amulets cannot be created, and they did not create the ones they have. Hey, look, there's something else I should probably tell you guys. Yeah, what's that? On my way out of the Shadowfell, I got one of the bastards that worked for the Elder Brain. Yeah? Well, that's a good thing, right? Grop says. It's a magnificent thing. In fact, you're going to love me when I say this. Say what? I have an amulet that can protect you from getting your mind read by the Elder Brain. And you're just telling us this now? Does that thing completely protect you from them? Can it break through in any way? I'm going to lean that towards unlikely that it's complete protection from the Elder Brain. 1. It is not complete protection from the Elder Brain, and you need to be out of its influence for a bit of time for it to reset. We'll say you need to be away from it for a day for it to reset, and the head cultists were leaving to go and do missions and bidding, so that's how they were able to reset it. No. It only protects you for a couple of days, and then you need to be out of the range of it. So far, it seems to be the only thing capable of breaking it. I haven't had my mind read by anything else. Oh, that's a start. Samoa says that he thinks it's likely that they got smuggled in with the necromancy stuff. And also suggests that the amulet makes your mind seem blank. The Elder Brain still knows you exist, but nothing more. I like that. We will go with that. Where did you get them from? Samantha asks. They were brought in with my dock workers. So they come from Sintran? Yeah. How did you? We found them. Excavations, dig sites. They cost a fortune to get. How many are there? I don't know. They didn't share that information with us. What other things were smuggled in? Brianna asks. It's different supplies that necromancers would need. Artifacts, magic, spells, stuff of that nature. Tomes they weren't supposed to get. There was a fucking big-ass scythe that is actually being shipped out to the Thule Kingdom. Was it ever sent? Yeah. It's long gone. Samoa asks, are the amulets Githyanki in origin? Do you think there's any sort of tilt to that? Neutral, likely, unlikely? Probably likely, but we'll see what you say. Likely it is. Let's get the double dice out there and roll it. Why did the other... Yeah, they did roll. Oh, shit. Yeah, I would say they are. Double sixes, making it not only likely a yes, but a hell yes. Yes, they're Githyanki in origin. And... Shit. See, I was literally just thinking they want them back. But the one that I was thinking, like, they want them back, but the but that stopped me from saying it. Are they being tracked? Or not tracked. Are they being traced? And I think that's likely too. Because they probably have a way to track down the thing that they can use to fight off Elder Brains. Are these things being traced by the Githyanki? Didn't roll. It's gonna roll now. Yes. Yes, they are being traced, but the signal was lost in the Shadowfell. Now that he brought the amulet out here, the ping is being sent back out, and they're coming. There's no doubt to it. The Githyanki are coming. It's just a matter of how soon they'll be here. And as mentioned before, a message that I will scroll back up to read, Samoa had said, I'd like to point out that the Githyanki are not particularly nice people either. They are lawful evil, so if they get involved at some point, it is not necessarily to the protagonist's benefit. And honestly, if they have one of these artifacts, it is not going to be nice. They're probably going to come in raising absolute hell to get these things back. That's going to be interesting and or brutal when it happens. Things are really, really kicking up, and it's going to be nuts. Oh man, I'm getting that edge of excitement that something bad's going to happen. That's what I live for. Does he know? Not him. I'm not going to say him. I'm going to say Samantha. Does Samantha know that that thing he's holding is Githyanki in origin? And I want to roll that as an Arcana check. Hers is 0. I feel like this is probably more difficult to find, so I'm going to make this an 18. So I guess she just has to roll an 18 with that 0. Here it comes. 16. So close, but not enough. What's with the star within a star? I don't know. That's just how they all came. Well, you recognize it? No. Seeing as she knows what... well, no, I don't have to roll about this. I had said earlier that she knows what all of us know about the Illithids, so she knows about the Githyanki, but she doesn't put that together, that that's what it is. We need to make sure those messages were set out, Samantha says, as she moves towards the door. And we need to... She looks back to him. You're not as safe as you think you are with that thing. Why not? Because if there is an elder brain here, and it's reading my mind, her mind, his, you just told us that you have an amulet that protects you. It may not be able to read your mind, but it could read ours. I know you want to give us all the information you have, but I think unless it's absolutely necessary, you shouldn't tell us anything. Wait a minute, if there's something we need to know, we need to know it, Crop says. We lose our advantage if they know we know. Unless you can get us more of those amulets. No. Like I said, they come from Sindran. And unless Holly has anything on her boat still that we don't know about, then we can't get shit. Was Holly's last shipment ever collected from her boat? Neutral roll. No, they were supposed to get it tonight. But all of that black shuck shit kind of threw it off guards. We weren't expecting the Arbiters to show up this week. So there's a chance whatever was brought on that boat is still there. Doubtful. But it's worth checking, Crop says. I can take Leo to the boat, and no. We shouldn't split up. Hey, I'm not going to betray you, Leo says. That's not what I'm worried about. But with everything that's happened, it's best we keep within each other's sight. We don't want Black Shuck to drag us out into the Shadowfell, where they can extract the information from us. Do they know, Leo? Know what? When a dagger is used, do they know the location of it? Of where Shuck is going? Can they sense the dagger? Yeah, but it's more like a radius. Like, if I cut you here right now, they're not going to be like, oh, okay, he's summoning Black Shuck to the fucking guard shack. But it's like, oh, okay, it's somewhere within Joinaskia. Fucking Joinaki. I forgot how it's pronounced. One more time.
Joinikasa.
Joinikasa. It's the middle that throws me off. Within Joinikasa. You can just trace it to an area. That gives us some wiggle room, but it's best that we don't use it. We kill somebody, we kill them the right way. We don't let a hound do it. We check the birds, make sure those letters are getting sent. Then we go to the ship and make sure it's clear. Yeah, all right, I'm with you. Let's go. The lantern guides them forward. This time they all have their own. That is such a fucking stupid question. We will ask it. Megbu asks, can you get a really long chain and have more than one person wearing the amulet? I think that's unlikely, but what do you have to say, Megbu? You are the one who asked that question. And it amuses me to no end. Make it unlikely. Okay. Here comes the roll. 5. Yes, you can. But I'm going to say that it weakens the effect if multiple people are wearing it, just to balance that out and not make it easy. I'm also going to say they don't know that. I mean, someone might think of it. It feels stupid enough that Samantha under stress would call that out. They approach the bird shack to find that nobody is waiting at the door. Where's Daniel? And Brianna pushes ahead of the others as they approach. Daniel! She walks over, forces her way towards the bird shack, pushes the door open to find that all of them have been slaughtered. Oh, let Thanda guide us. What? The others approach and glance in to find the slaughter of pigeons. None of them left untouched. Feathers and blood everywhere. And Brianna hits the wall. Give us a goddamn break! Calm down. All right. Losing it now is not going to help you. I don't need any sort of blinding fucking optimism for you. That means Daniel was one of them. Or they killed him and took him out. No. His body would be in here. Never thought I'd see the day that my own God units turn against me. We made an oath to protect this city. That's the thing about oaths, Leo says. At the end of the day, they're just words. And he turns around and grabs Leo by his colt robe and brings him forward. Hey! A man's word is everything. Oh well. I guess those guys weren't men now, were they? No, I guess not. I'm sorry. Been a rough night, I get it. We should get you out of those clothes. Yeah. Yeah, I guess the colt robe isn't really that good of an idea, is it? I can get you a guard uniform so you blend in with us. Blending in isn't exactly going to be easy for you all. What do you mean? Like, man, no offense. But you're the leader of the guard? And this ginger here? No offense. She's an arbiter. They know what you two look like. And once they figure out I'm gone, they know what I look like, so blending in's not really an option. Unless you want to grow out the sides of your hairs and you suddenly want to become a brunette. No one touches the hair. No one touches the hair, Crop repeats. Yeah, well, just throwing that out there. And at least you'd look better than walking around in a cold robe. I see your point. You do. All right, I'll do it. Guard uniform it is. Ma would be proud. For once in her fucking life. They move towards the guard shack, leaving the two of these two standing right by it. It's gonna be okay, Samantha says. 2 hours ago, you were sitting on the ground crying. I was trying to forget about that. But somebody knows and can stop it. Right? We have an amulet that can protect us. We'll find a way. Oh, there's no backup coming. There will be. What? You guys said you sent a letter talking about Black Shock, so at least another 2 arbiters will be sent. Right? You sent it out 3 weeks before we arrived. It's not an army, but it's backup. It's not going to be enough. No. I mean, former cultist, the guard captain, a guard, and a bard. We're not enough either, but it's a start. We all have a chance to start somewhere, right? Besides, the best stories are, and Samantha talks as she's walking backwards, backpedaling to join the shop. The best stories always have the heroes as the underdogs. And come on, haven't you even read those weird mangas that they put out in the other countries? Your protagonist has bright, shiny hair. We're guaranteed to succeed. I hate you. And they carry on. I'm going to momentarily, for this episode only, have Leo be played by this guard with a knife, just so we are aware that he has changed characters, and then next week we will have him an official character. They approach the dock. Samantha casts an eye to the dock master's, or the harbor master's home, as they move past it. She looks to the boat that they used when they arrived. Her and Bishop. And Samantha gets sad, thinking about the fact that, well, chivalrous man didn't want her to row. Leo, Samantha says. Yeah. The other arbiter. What happened to him? Now some questions are, better left unasked. She catches his arm. I need to know. Is he dead? Yes. He's dead. But he was not killed by Black Shuck or fed to the worm. His brain was feasted on by the illithid. Was it quick? Yeah. Yeah, it was quick. I'm sorry. Me too. I will end the episode there, specifically because I want to give the dock scene a longer, or the boat scene a longer chance, and I feel like there's probably something there that we're missing, some sort of enemy or creature, and I don't want to feel rushed to make time, and I want to give that proper scene. We had some crazy developments today, though. Like, dear God, that went off the rails in ways that, again, I was not expecting. I love when that happens. I really do. And everybody's out there putting their own twists and turns on it, just making it go in directions that we were not expecting. I didn't think we'd run into a friendly cultist. That's always kind of interesting. We have the daggers and amulet to fight it, an elder brain. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh man, I'm excited to see where tomorrow takes us. Because there's no way it's not just gonna keep ramping up in that interesting manner. All of this from a single card and a handful of questions. It's crazy how that happens. Absolutely insane. I'm gonna read up on the Githyanki, learn how to pronounce their name, get some figures, and it was gonna be nice. Yeah, I actually, when I started this out, my intention was to have a 1 or 2 day thing so that we could continue if Jericho got back, and unfortunately he didn't. But it's growing out to be a nice adventure. This is probably one of the most interesting solo role plays I've ever done, and probably one of the most interesting D&D campaigns or stories that I've been a part of. So it's fun. I owe that a lot of that to you, Samoa. You've brought some amazing ideas and some amazing concepts. Everybody else asking questions too. Meg Booth, your fun questions have been interesting, but the more serious ones that you've asked out there too have also twisted the story in interesting ways. Anybody else that's just lurking, feel free to ask those questions. It's not just our story; it can be your story too. So don't be afraid or don't hesitate. We're not going to make fun of you. We only make fun of me for the stupid shit I say. Because sometimes, it's hard to ramble for 3 hours straight. But tomorrow we'll get some in. We'll find a way to include a clock. Some sort of counter. Maybe we'll make it so that every time the amulet protects you or something, that it brings the Gith closer. I'll make some sort of clock for that to decide it. It's strange because, yes, it's also showing that we have 2 viewers, but my chat is filled with a bunch of different names. Maybe they're all those crazy porn bots. We like porn bots, right? But nonetheless, it has been a wonderful night. I thank you for playing along, Samoa, Megbu. It's been great. Your questions are always much appreciated. Your input, both of you, is always much appreciated. Magica, the one question that was asked, was much appreciated. Hot Tub Stream Bots, my apologies. But I like Hot Tub Stream Bots too. Eventually, we'll do our own D&D Hot Tub Stream. No one here wants to see that. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing along. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. EST, we will be taking up the story with our boat adventure and having a way to include the Githyanki. And I hope to see all of you there. Until then, I'll be in other worlds.